The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, we do have a pretty long political discussion near the end of the show, so if you feel like skipping that and kind of go into the last 5 minutes in which we talk about what game won the election, as it were, then you can do that. Just giving you the little warning before the episode starts. And also,
shall we play a game?
Player to another.
welcome to another episode of Nude Clan. I am Joe.
I'm Caleb Craig.
I'm Cameron. And Caleb Schweiss.
Cameron's not here yet, believe it or not.
He was with the intro 1.0.
Yeah, that's true. We are starting this episode for a second time because I did get some snacks. And the reason I got some snacks today is because, guys, we are playing History. We are playing History of Video Games Part 4, I believe.
Is it 3 or 4?
And it's for the third generation. Yeah, I know.
What
did
we
confusing.
do last time? Because you skipped over something.
I skipped over something and then had to plan for the second generation episode, which was actually number 3. So although this says History of Video Games Part 3 on this write-up I did a month and a half ago, it's really Part 4.
Okay.
On the third generation.
Okay.
Because the first one. Yeah.
The first one was a prelude to the first generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
I got you.
So we are going to continue our history series. And we're going to be throwing out some Starburst to other hosts. Oh, look, there's Cameron. Sorry I started without you, Cameron, but I was able to go to the bank and Maverick before you were able to mail something at the post office.
Well, it is a federally run thing, so.
And it is more than just a few blocks away from here, so.
Where did you go?
I went to the one next to the Tabernacle.
Yeah, but I was at a stoplight for like 5 minutes.
Oh.
Trying to turn left.
So I had to go up and then over and then
It's okay.
up,
I'm not blaming
and
you.
then
We just started early because I got to get out of here at some point.
Candy.
Sorry.
At some point.
Yeah, and I got candy for you, which you'll
probably.
probably have some, so...
Some.
STFU. That's what I say, Cameron.
Cameron and his lean.
What does that
cast.
spell?
This
I
is the lean.
don't want you to say anything because that's you every episode.
Foo. What every episode? Oh,
This
it's
is
a
Caleb.
leaning?
This is Caleb every episode, so he can't say anything.
Yeah, but he's got a better
Yeah,
chord
but
than
that's
you
also
do.
a visual thing, and nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
He's got a better chord than
Well,
you.
he does what he said. The lean cast is what he was saying.
This is the lean side.
God, dude, I hate
In every
it.
way. In every way. We're the skinnier guys here. We're leaning backwards. Chillcast.
How much do you
2016.
weigh, Cameron?
I weigh.
I know some people would think that's a personal question not to ask on a podcast, but not
I know
this guy.
We're very open with what we're trying to do here,
Including our sexuality. Go ahead.
No.
got a closed
last
off
time
back
I
end.
weighed myself was on Friday, and I was about 245.
I weigh 10 pounds less than Cameron.
But I'm also
5?
Yeah.
several inches taller than you. So
Several is...
This is a relative term.
It's a relative term. I mean, we could go through the BMI and see what we're both supposed to be at, and then the amount of pounds in between is like, I need to weigh 220 to look as skinny as Cameron does, despite the fact that he weighs more than me, or whatever it is. We'll figure it out.
all right.
For no reason whatsoever than to stroke my ego when I hit that number.
Hey, you don't need anything to stroke your ego besides the fact you're the first one to graduate.
That's true, but I haven't graduated yet, so it's not
Almost
quite
there, so.
almost there, man. Fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do either. I'm like dying here. I had to make a LinkedIn account this week.
I saw that.
I was like, I'm this desperate for I need to be employed and also look like I'm employable in the field I'm going into. So I'm like, fuck.
What they look for really off of LinkedIn.
I had to wear a vest and a tie and ask my sister to take a picture of me. That's how desperate I was.
You saw my freaking LinkedIn picture.
Your LinkedIn picture is a Facebook. So there's like
It's the
Facebook
same
pictures,
picture.
and then there's what LinkedIn pictures are supposed to be, which is like
it's the same
author
picture
page on the
Yeah.
back of the books.
No, my Facebook profile picture is my same picture as my LinkedIn picture, and I still get job offers off of it. And what they look for is experience and schooling too, but they look for how much experience you have in the field that they're looking for. And they'll send you kind of like a test message to test the water with you, and based off of how you respond, and they'll offer you a job off
Yeah,
of that.
generally they say send nudes.
Send nudes.
So have those
No.
ready.
That's exactly what it's. Send nudes. When can you start?
Yeah. I want to be in a movie. So you're interested in film.
So I'm gonna try to apply for some post-production jobs. So I call those big boy jobs because they're actually like what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so I have to make. I'm going out of my way. I got like 6. I don't know if you've seen the Google Drive, Caleb Schweiss, because we share the same.
Yeah,
we
it's
share the
getting kinda
Ultimate Final
crowded in
Fantasy email and share the same Google Drive. And there's like a million resumes. Like I have like 9 different types of resumes for like every situation.
I just threw mine into Google's resume builder and like called it good.
Yeah, you
it doesn't
did.
even look that great. Like
No, for me,
it tells me everything I've
I
done.
looked at a resume format, just made it as plain and brief as possible, but showing my experience. But where I really shone forth was in my cover letter, where I had brief bit about me. I was able to place like reviews that people did about me and stuff. So you have to really brag about yourself.
What the fuck did I say, Caleb Schweiss? Caleb Schweiss, he did not believe me when I was like, dude, I need a quote from you because we work together on this.
Right. So
on this network. And he's like, what the fuck? I've never heard of that. And I showed him my cover letter thing.
Basically, your cover letter is a 1-page paper on why they should hire you.
Yeah.
And
understand
having quotes for someone else is a great way to make a good paper.
I
And so
understand what a cover
I want to
letter
step
is.
further with mine instead of just having like so and so. Oh yeah, he's a great guy. I actually had customers that had helped for my previous job. They had given me reviews, and I used those reviews in my cover letter.
Yeah, none from friends, you little fuck.
It's a piece of shit. I was applying for a
Sorry,
computer
Cameron.
job, and I don't see where bread store fits in computer jobs.
Look, bread store fits everywhere.
For me, there's like survival jobs, and for that, I'll put on my like recent employment history at like the pizza shop or whatever.
Right.
And then there's jobs in the field I'm supposed to be going into, and that is like a totally different resume. And for that is what I'm making cover letters for.
I continue to list you as a
and
professional
so
reference, though.
I have him as a reference too.
Thank you.
I need a quote from you, Schweiss. I
Greatly
need a
honored.
quote that says it's amazing to work with me and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, he wants me to lie.
Stop laughing.
Hey, fuck you.
I told him to just put together a Mad Lib where it's just like adjectives and verbs and shit. I'll just throw something together and go with it.
Oh, boy.
I've never used a cover letter. I mean, I made one time, but I've never handed one in. Like I've never done that, so it's weird. But I guess it's a big deal. Like, for a LinkedIn account, I see it a lot more.
As your job becomes more and more professional and a lot more cutthroat, where there's tons of people applying, a good cover letter can help you stand out.
So in other words, not just a wage
You want
and
them
hour
to
job.
read you want them to read your cover letter.
we
You
all
want
have
them
wage
to
and hour
I know
to
we do.
like you.
That's the idea.
I don't. I have salary.
Yeah, but it's not
Cameron
like
has a
crazy salary.
It's not a crazy salary, but
And
it's
it's an
salary.
entry level thing.
No, it's not.
You just do more advanced.
Mine's
I
not
guess-
entry level
I guess it's
because
more
when
advanced.
we're hiring new people, we hire people with degrees for my same job, so it's not entry level.
Oh, okay.
The reason I got it is because of how
Cameron
cool I am,
is disposable.
and because of my amount of experience. No, I'm not disposable.
Kidding.
I'll show you why. I'll show you my numbers if you want to see.
No one wants to see your numbers, Cameron.
Show me.
And a 10% raise, I'll have you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's that.
All right. Well,
Star.
speaking of video games, back
back to the topic at
let's talk
hand.
about the election. No.
That's a can of worms we're not allowed to open.
Me and Caleb, we're talking beforehand. We were like, how the fuck are we not going to talk about the election on
Yeah.
Nude Clan?
and then you
can't.
bring it up.
We can't. We can't.
Can
not.
we wait for getting fat to talk
We
about
can
it?
wait, yeah.
Yeah, we can wait.
Okay.
Let's do that. So I'm sure people are sick of hearing about it. So
Yeah, I would say
we'll get to it later.
What have you been playing, Craig?
Interject.
I've been playing Batman the Telltale series, and I've been playing Witcher 3.
Playing with quotes for the Telltale one.
Well, it's not done yet, so I have to wait for the last 2 episodes.
No, I know, but it's like sort of a not game.
yeah, pretty much.
It's like R.L. Stein made an interactive.
yeah, choose your own adventure, Batman. Yeah.
Except for the endings aren't all shit. So, and in his books, they are. It's like, wow, this is really fucking lame.
The only choose your adventure books that I was into were the Goosebump ones. In
Yeah,
elementary
that's what I'm
school.
it's
talking
R.L. Stein.
It is R.L. Stein.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the only venue in which it got kind of big was the Goosebumps, right?
No, they've
think
been
there are
around
other
for a
ones.
long time.
It's not a huge thing, though, I would say. And I bought them. Like, I went to those book drives, and I was like, Mom, give me these. But at the end, I was like, God, I don't know why I read these things. Like, it could be so much better, but then at the end, it's like nothing happens. It's like watching Walking Dead. It's like nothing happens at the end.
Only in the first and last episode.
Yeah, first in the beginning and the very end, something kind of happens, and then the rest of it's like cookie cutter. The black guy dies. Walking Dead. I swear to God, dude. They introduce all these characters, and it's like you can tell they're expendable.
How many of the original group are left, actually?
Everyone but one guy who spoiled for me.
So
Not everyone. There's actually a bunch of people dead.
no,
from the
like
original.
I'm talking about the original group. It's like just 2 of them left, 3 of them left from the original group.
from the first scene of the show.
Yeah,
There's I guess there's not very many, huh?
yeah. Anyways, yeah.
So Telltale.
Pretty cool game
Yeah.
stuff talking about.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh my
much it.
God,
what?
I know.
This is like a dead week for you.
Yeah, I know.
Caleb, you're supposed to put in 40 hours. How are you
You have
gonna
to put
keep
in 40 hours
How are you going to
somewhere.
keep your Nude Clan healthcare benefits?
Yeah, because we have that.
If it drops below a certain amount, we don't have to provide it, Caleb.
Yeah. How much you putting in?
You'll hear.
Yeah, like an hour.
We'll find out.
hour a day.
Cameron's first, though. Why you trying to jump over Cameron?
So this week I played a little bit of Neverwinter, mostly just to log on, grab my VIP benefits, and log off. Played a little bit of Battlefield 1.
Oh, I also played some of that.
Played a little
lied.
bit of Deadly Tower of Monsters. And
How
I
is
also
that?
played, I'll tell you guys about it. And I played Black Ops 3.
Oh, I saw you playing that last night.
Yeah.
/ this morning.
Really?
I want to beat a game that's not a game that I have to beat. So I can have
But
my
it's
list
still a
go-
shooter?
Yeah. Well, it's what I had. It's what I had available.
Cameron doesn't play any other type of game.
I play
Yeah, he
many
gets
different types of games.
He gets 2 games a month with PlayStation Plus.
2 of those games
and he's like,
this
I have
week.
to do what's available, and goes with a shooter.
2 of these games this last week were not straight up shooters. They were not.
Straight up shooter. Wait, which one?
Deadly Tower of Monsters
What's a
is
straight
like
up shooter?
where
You just,
you're
like,
first
point upward
person
and shoot
and
things?
first or
Galaga?
third person, and the majority of the game is that you're shooting enemies. Deadly Tower of Monsters is not that.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's what I played.
All right. I've been playing Battlefield 1. I've been playing Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings.
Even though you already beat it.
Yeah, I'm just grinding to get the final stuff taken care of. I also played... Ooh. Did I play anything else? Fuck.
Armored Core.
Armored Core. Oh, yeah, that's right. That
Yeah.
game, that thing. I played that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, you did.
I think that's about it. I think those are the only games I have played this week. Now, Joe, what about Joe? I almost forgot.
Joe has played a little bit of Revenant Wings, not as much as he would have liked to play. And Caleb,
It's over there.
okay, you're gonna have to just say it over the show because otherwise it's still gonna be just a confusion. I am wondering where the fuck my pen went.
Oh, I thought you were wondering where the binder was.
I mean, that was going to be the next thing, but I needed to be able to write in case something.
And then Caleb always has the mechanical pencils that are always out.
I think that might have been the only
Mechanical pencil that
I'd
works.
let you borrow my pen, but I want it disgraced with phallic images.
Your pen's not going to.
He's not going to draw on your pen,
No, he's going to draw with my pen.
so he always draws with your pen.
Oh yeah, we're on Hog Status Part 2. Shit.
Are we? What we are we talking about here?
I'm on Hog
Caleb
Status Part
Craig
2.
is who's on Hog Status Part 2. So anyway, it wasn't a big game week for me. I played South Park as well, and I'm almost done, I think. So
Where are you at in South Park?
I took over the school or whatever.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, I figured. Anyway, did anybody beat a game this week?
Nope.
I did.
You did.
Beat a game?
Wow.
I beat a game.
Holy shit. Man, why don't we have a drop for that? Like, an impossible thing just happened.
I beat games. Like I said, I was trying to beat
You
games.
beat games that you
Burn
have to
all your
beat.
fucking mechanical pencils.
Well, if you stop losing the other ones, we wouldn't have to worry
I don't
about
lose
this.
the mechanical pencils.
Well,
If they
where's
got
the pen?
If they got the
Where's
end
the pen at?
bit off, I throw it away.
I don't bite
Okay,
the- I don't
here's
bite
one
the ends
without
off.
the end bit off. Do you have lead for it?
No, I don't. I don't.
Actually,
Do
I
you
think
even
the
buy lead?
I think the end on that one's actually cleanly bit off. That's why it's
I
not
don't
bent.
bite them off. I pick my nails with them.
Jesus Christ. Look,
Oh, I do have lead.
Look at this.
I do. Look.
no one else is biting your goddamn pencils. Not like I take it and go. No.
I don't bite it.
Because I'm sure
plastic.
if I were to do that,
You
during
know
the
what?
show,
You're the only man that has a picture of himself on the internet with a fucking writing utensil in his mouth.
I mean, that is true.
Your thing on
I
Goodreads,
wouldn't
you got a
take-
fucking pencil in your mouth.
I wouldn't take someone
much of a
else's
dick
pencil.
picture?
and do that.
Suddenly, there's all these
Have
bite
I done
marks.
that? Have I done that?
I don't know. I haven't
Are you
done
sure
it.
it's your fingernails? Because God, your fingernails must be made of fucking steel if they're bending the end.
You know what
of
it
these
probably
fucking
is?
mechanical pencils.
He's probably digging out that salty ass dirt from under his fingernails, and his cat's chewing on the pens.
Oh, that's right. Waylon does. I mess with him.
okay.
with the
Well, this
pencils.
pencil needs to be thrown away, or the
Why?
or the top.
What's wrong with it?
Chopped off.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Looks at it for a second. Oh, okay.
What the
I
exact
thought you
same
were-
thing is wrong
You know
with
what?
the
You
other
can do
three
this.
mechanical
You can do
pencils
this
I've
here.
thrown
Oh,
away.
look, there's lead. Look, you don't have to have the thing.
Oh, I'm. Do you want? You just want me to bust off the end of the thing?
He didn't
'Cause
bust
that's
it
what's
off; it
gonna
screws
happen.
off.
It's gonna, but
You're
I
putting
don't
it
even
in
know
the
how to
wrong
fucking do
way.
this.
Yeah, you
can't
gotta pull out
take
the
out-
eraser.
yeah,
can't
take
do
out the
these.
eraser.
Pull out
No,
the eraser.
I cannot do these goddamn mechanical
Dude, you
pencils.
pull out
pull
the
it.
eraser.
I'm fucking
No,
pull
not on the plastic thing, on the eraser itself.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
What
Is
the
that
fuck?
That's what are you
Never
serious?
seen
Yes.
No, because I don't have mechanical pencils because I'm not a fucking rich snob.
They're like 97 cents for like a 10 pack.
Oh my
fucking
god!
The rich
lead.
snobs are the ones that have to buy a fucking sharpener with theirs.
Damn it, dude!
This is for poor people.
This is ridiculous.
You got it. He did. So this is true. Joe does not know how to operate a mechanical pencil.
It's because they're fucking lame.
analog only, manual only, no automatic.
How many leads can you put in a single pencil?
As many as fit.
lot.
Okay, that I don't know if that's all.
This
gonna fit.
pencil, I would suggest putting a piece of tape on this pencil saying it has all the lead and needs to be the pencil.
The
Wow.
pencil.
It is the pencil now.
Now you just need to buy a stand for that pencil.
Don't jam it too
alone.
tight, or else the
I'm
lid
not
won't come
jamming
out.
it. I let it go in.
Okay.
I'm not fucking jamming.
Have like
He
a
doesn't have to.
hallway leading to it.
Yeah, you can't jam.
Lights
it just
on it.
slides in like.
Okay, how long do I have to do this for?
That's because you fucking jammed it, and then
Jam
now
shit.
there's too much lead, and it can't pull the lead out.
Sure.
You got to push down on
It's
the.
not fucking fucked up.
You got to push down on it with like
Did it have lead at the end before?
No.
enthusiasm.
Well, then that might be your problem.
My problem.
Yeah.
Camera. Jesus Christ, are you a fucking mechanical pencil mechanic?
Yeah, he's a grease monkey for mechanical
That
pencils.
looks
over here.
strangely sexual whenever you.
Just whenever I do some manual labor with my hands, Joe's turned on, which is why.
I love how you're cradling the mic like a baby.
Yeah.
holding like the head in his elbow.
I have to admit, it took a lot of effort to get a piece of lead out of the pencil, so he fucking jammed it in there.
Jam it. Oh, I fucking jam it.
Jam it real good.
Jam that lead in.
This is a really weird moment for us.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
how about you work on that, Cameron, and I use your pen for this one fucking segment? Thank you, sir.
All right, I beat 2 games.
Hold on.
No, you got to use the other side for them.
I knew it.
What?
He has no idea about mechanical anything.
Is it the wrong size?
Yes, it's a 0.7 millimeter thing, and it's a 0.5 this and 0.7 lead.
Well, it should
Oh
still
my
fit.
God!
Oh, I know, never
no,
mind.
it doesn't.
0.5.
Caleb.
So you're saying the lead's 0.7?
Yeah,
okay.
The lead is 0.7.
So
the
that must have
pencil
been
is
for an
smaller.
older-
So the thing that makes mechanical pencils even worse is that you need to know the exact lead. There's not a one size
No,
fits
there's
all.
not.
okay,
Fuck mechanical pencils.
Joe.
Pens have different
Pens are the
sizes.
same thing.
Or pencils or nothing. That in between bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
If you like writing in pencils,
And you know
be
what
like
happens
writing in
when
super
you have a
fine
pen
print
that
You get a
runs out of
0.5
ink?
lead.
You fucking toss it and get another pen.
Not with those ones, you don't. You get a refiller for these
a
ones because
nice
that's a
pen,
full
you're right.
aluminum body
Yeah,
pen.
that's
Dude, I have
Cameron's-
a pen exactly
That's
like
the
that.
watch
it's
of-
the pen that matches the watch.
Yeah, it's the watch of pens.
It is a Zebra F105, I think is what its serial number is.
What the fuck?
It is my favorite pen to write with.
Dude, I can't even remember like what kind of blade I have for my fucking shaver. Like my razor, I have no fucking idea. Like I go and I'm like, is it the Mach 3 or the Mach 4? Is it even Gillette? Is it something else? God, I can't believe like.
Well, Cameron doesn't need to shave.
I just have to get a decent trimmer. Yeah, that's all.
All right. So you beat a game, Schweiss?
Yeah, I beat 2. I beat Armored
Oh, and
Core.
Cameron beat a game.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that'd be
sorry.
the game.
game you
Cameron goes
Deadly
first.
Tower of Monsters.
What? How long was it?
Already?
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour game.
And you honestly spent 4 hours on it? I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Was it fun?
2 nights. It's decent. It's okay. So it's a fun game if you're tired of playing competitive video games. Let's say that. However, I do believe Joe would quite enjoy that game because the whole premise of
4
it.
hours long.
Because the whole the whole premise of
That's
the
why
game
Cam enjoys it.
is that this B movie director is now doing his B movie commentary for the DVD release of his movie, and you are playing the game / movie at the same time he's commenting, and it's really kind of funny sometimes.
That is bizarre.
And it's a space B movie where there's
guys, I have an idea
fake
for a
ass
game.
monsters and stuff, and it's actually kind of like a fun idea, and I think Joe would like it. Because there's a lot of behind the scenes type stuff of he's talking about how actors and stuff, and he's just this horrible director and horrible person, and he's talking about this game, and I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, wide amount of parallels there going on.
All right.
You would enjoy the satire of the game.
I didn't beat a game, so the only other person who beat a game was you, Schweiss. What were they?
I beat Armored Core for Answer. And I stayed up until 4:45 last night ish this morning and beat Battlefield 1.
Oh, wow. You're way ahead.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with your life?
Play
Try to
the
beat
next
me.
game that wins.
Which is most likely looking like a
The
certain
hog
game.
is as follows for the hosts. Caleb Craig is still ahead with 31 games.
Fuck yeah.
Caleb Schweiss is at 28 games.
God, I'm still 3 behind?
I
Yeah, bitch.
am at
Jesus
14 games. Maybe you should play Deadly Tower
You're
of
all
Monsters.
smug about beating 2 games.
Well, you beat 4 last week, you sick fuck.
Yeah.
And then Cameron is at 11 games. Still a loser.
Well, I'm going to have a lot more games beat here in this month.
Well,
so.
as long as he beats
Yeah,
one
now that,
more, he'll
now that
have
the
one
SO
per
is
month.
gone,
Okay, I want you
you
to
got
have
time.
that's a good point. But
And I'm also going to have some sushi. I'm here for it.
Caleb Craig has no idea what you mean, and he was busting up with that.
I gotta laugh.
funny. Anyways, I just wanted to make it a point that I don't like playing Black Ops 3. I didn't pick it up to play and enjoy it. It came with my PS4.
That's essentially buying it, Cam. You made a
and-
conscious choice to get it.
But it's the only one
The Last of
Walmart
Us.
had. No, I couldn't because you were all three of you were there when I picked this up.
I don't remember this.
I don't
and
remember it
it
either.
was the only one left that they had.
Oh wait, no,
at
I
the
remember
Walmart.
it. I'm sorry, I do.
And I picked it up.
And I was like, oh, that sucks.
Amazon exists, Cam. That's all I'm
But I
saying.
wanted it then so we could play games that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have
Target's up
ordered
the
it
street.
before that night.
No, this was Payson Walmart. We were.
Oh my
yeah.
God. I was.
Yeah,
not
I don't
there.
remember that.
You
I remember
and you
being with him.
You and me were all
really
there.
don't
Of course, I
remember
was
I was
there.
with him that night.
But I am playing it because I have it and it's a game, and I couldn't return it for very much money at GameStop.
I think it's a Call of Duty.
And I needed, and I wanted to beat a game. The campaign, however, is a 14-hour long campaign.
Holy shit.
It's, you know.
And I've read
That's
reviews
long
on
for-
it.
shooter.
I've read around on it, and I've heard it was like one of the best modern, like freaking Call of Duty campaigns. But I'm just rolling my eyes the whole time. It's just the same.
I don't know, man. Modern Warfare
same
2
cliche.
and 3.
Apparently,
Those were
the
awesome.
new Modern Warfare didn't do that well, or whichever one.
Infinite
just came
Warfare?
out. Yeah, Infinite.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't
because it
been,
got shit on by Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2.
I have not heard
Jon
very many
Snow could
reviews.
save it.
I haven't heard very many reviews of Titanfall. I just know a
wonder
lot
how
of people
many-
like it, but Battlefield 1's amazing.
Okay. All right. I'm wondering like how much the Jon Snow thing affected the sales. Like probably didn't help at all.
See, we were talking about this last time. How much does a
Yeah.
voice actor and actor influence sales of a game?
I'm not buying that game.
And
It doesn't
they-
have
they
anything
put
to
his
do with
face-
whether or not
Yeah.
Jon Snow's in it.
Which one was the Kevin Spacey one?
Advanced
It was-
Warfare.
Yeah, so
which
they
the last
huge.
one.
So Kevin Spacey sold. Did he move those copies?
No.
No.
What about Jon Snow? He did not move
No.
any copies.
COD moved the copies, and because of Advanced Warfare, COD's been going downhill because they went too far.
Yeah,
They tried to change it up, which, I mean, is respectful, but they just fucked up.
just too much.
Yeah, they
too much
didn't
going
want to
on.
keep producing
People want it the
game.
same. Yeah.
They do, and I do too. I don't want this bullshit hop around exosuit lie.
Need to go back to World War II.
Yeah, we do. World War II is the way.
Call of Duty 5.
World at
There's
War.
something like even with Battlefield 1 and then Call of Duty World at War, there's just something nice in the simplicity of it where it's just bare bones, you against the other dude. It's not whose attachments can do extra damage. It's like you versus the other sniper down the road, and you have the same gun. It's just talent.
Yeah.
Who wins?
Who dies?
You decide. What the fuck is that from?
That's from, Who Wins, Who Dies. That's a Game of Thrones trailer for season 2. But the You Decide thing is the epic rap battles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we
Yeah.
go. Thank you.
That was a little off course, but
Oh,
there
Jesus
we are.
Christ. It's just like,
And the
what?
first half hour wasn't.
Sounds so familiar.
Anyways,
was like 15
Black Ops
minutes.
3. I don't know if I want to review it. I'll have to be honest with my feelings with it afterwards, but I'm just really playing it to beat it. I need another beat game.
Wow.
All right.
You're that ashamed, huh?
I am.
I need
I'm
to
not
play-
enjoying it.
I need to play Black Ops 2 on the PC.
The
I've
year's
started
almost
it, but-
over. I mean, you could just scrap this year and get to like the last level of a whole bunch of games and just start the
Yeah.
year like 6 ahead.
That's where Jake is sitting right now. Actually, he's got a bunch of stuff at the very end, and he's asking me if he should finish it off or if he should save it for next year. And I'm like, Skull Hades catching up on us, so you probably ought to beat it.
It's a
Beat him.
fucking ass.
Yeah,
We got to figure out what we're giving away for those.
we're gonna give Caleb away to whoever wins.
That's a
Okay.
grand prize right there.
So before we get into the history of video games, part 4, even though it says part 3 and it's confusing me still, gonna do some plugs. You can go to nudeclan.net and you can give us comments on the webpage. You can even give us an email by going through our contact forum. You can check your hog points through the hog status tab.
Is that thing working again?
It was working last week. We had to add up the points manually, but it was working last week.
Yeah, but the calculator wasn't working.
Yeah, I know. And they sent me a thing that was like, which version do you have? And I didn't get back to them, and I need to.
Yeah, probably.
And even though I did their updates, so it's just not fucking working. It's just being weird. What else? twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming. You can go to facebook.com and check us out there as well. Just search Nude Clan. That's probably going to be the best way to get a hold of us there.
Yeah.
Instead of Nude Clan Podcast or whatever it is, NEWD. And you can tweet me at Joseph DeGillier.
Me at Obsidian Bob.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And by the way, guys, going to start incorporating more feedback into the show. So please give us comments on the episodes themselves, and we'll talk about it on future episodes. Okay? Let's get into history of video games. And talk about the third generation.
All right.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The one to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot, batteries not included. He helps you tackle even the toughest challenge. Will you be the first to raise the incredibly accurate Zapper and play games like Duck Hunt or action-packed Hogan's Alley and high-flying Kung Fu, each sold separately? Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes with Rob, Zapper, Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.
Okay, guys, you know the rules.
Yep.
I ask the question. You give me an answer. If you get it, or you're the closest one to it, I may, upon my own discretion, give you a Starburst.
I don't think you get to choose.
And then shove it in your starfish.
Oh, man.
Oh?
Yeah.
Asses up, people. Asses up.
All right.
Sometimes you just gotta grab them by the pussy. And then sometimes you gotta
motherfucker.
shove them in the asshole.
You stole that. I was going to use that line.
Oh, okay. Well,
all right, though.
No one's going to stop you from using that line more. I think it's a wonderful line. I think it's the most presidential of a line that you can have. I mean,
Most
there
dignified.
Well, clearly
there
it
is, 4 years ago, blah, 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 blah. It's like a 9-minute speech.
I mean, there is Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Tear down this wall. There's, do not think not about what your
Ich
country
bin
can
ein
do for you, or what
Berliner.
you can do for your country. And then there's
Speak softly
grab
and
by
carry
the
a
pussy.
large stick.
Yeah.
And I think we should all just try to, we should all strive to grab more pussies.
I can get behind that.
You
That's
gotta grab life by the pussy, as it were.
that's one I love. Grab life by the pussy instead of by the horns.
Yeah, Joe grabbed your pussy earlier, so
Yeah.
It's Percy.
Slade.
yeah.
So the third generation in the history of computer and video games began on July 15th, 1983 with the Japanese release of what console?
Can you please repeat the question?
1983, what console was released in Japan that kickstarted the third generation of video games?
The Nintendo is my answer.
Is that your... Anybody else got a guess?
Oh, God. I think it might be something else, but I'll piggyback
Okay.
it.
I know what you mean by the Nintendo. It was the Famicom.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
The Nintendo Entertainment System.
Fuck.
It was released as the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985 in the USA and 1986 in Europe because fuck Europe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is even worse, 1987 in Australia.
Oh, jeez.
And get this, it was known as the Hyundai Comboy in South Korea.
Oh, wow. Hyundai, huh?
And it basically helped revitalize the
Fucking
video
rip-off,
game industry
motherfucks.
after the crash in 1983 with the billions of Atari. Remember, the video game industry was kind of dead.
Yeah.
And then Famicom came in and revived it, which is crazy. Like, to think... It's almost like in my history of video games, that's kind of where video games began in my mind, right? That feels like the natural beginning point because, Nintendo's still around. And
Yeah.
that's probably why we feel that way.
Yeah.
And it was also kind of like probably the first video game console any of us were exposed to was that
Yeah.
NES.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, yes. Super Nintendo is really my first console exposure.
oh, so you're a little later on then.
Yeah.
Always behind, Cameron.
It's the only one that we had in the house.
Just giving you shit. So the NES introduced a new model for the video game industry. It licensed third-party developers and authorized them to make and distribute games on their platform. Apparently, that was new for this generation. Originally designed as a 16-bit system, president of Nintendo Hiroshi help me out. Is it Yamaguchi?
Yamana
Or Yamauchi? That's what I wrote.
I think it's Yamaguchi.
Yamaguchi, okay. He rejected it and decided to go for a cheaper, less complicated system that was cartridge-based and that was easy to make.
the original Gooch.
Do you remember, guys, have you held a NES in a while?
Grab
You know
him by
how
the
it's like 0 pounds?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
basically the lightest weight, large electronic item you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's pretty much entirely
It's like
plastic.
70% open space.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's
And,
just
and
like the
apparently it was
motherboard,
pretty
yeah.
cheap for them to make. So initially it was kind of slow to gather momentum, believe it or not. And the early NESs were recalled because of a bad chipset. After this setback, it miraculously grew in sales and became the best-selling console in Japan in 1984. So after a deal with Atari fell through, Nintendo opted to distribute the console themselves, showing off their snazzy new product at the Consumer Electronics Show. And in order to differentiate themselves from the crappy Atari clones that kept coming up, Nintendo decided that they were going to add something to their games that would show consumers that this wasn't a shitty console and this was not a shitty game to go with it. This wasn't just some random, piece of crap Atari clone kind of thing. And what was that thing that they put on their games?
Music.
Music was already in Atari games.
Damn it.
Fuck.
Just think about Nintendo for a second. What do they have on all their games?
In all their games?
On all their games.
The intro? I don't fucking know. What?
Well, if you're a consumer and you're going into a store, how do you know that this game is quality?
They branded it?
Close.
Well, awards and ratings.
Just fucking tell us.
It's the Nintendo quality seal of approval.
Oh.
You know those little
Yeah, I
things
know
you
what you're
see on
talking
Nintendo
about.
boxes?
Yeah.
That was used to say this is a quality product, and it made the consumer feel safer about buying it. Remember, with the video game crash, all these video game systems and all these games were coming out, and it was flooding the marketplace with mostly subpar games.
Yeah,
And so
being
this-
clones of other ones, yeah.
This was Nintendo's way of saying, hey, look,
That's an interesting thing that I don't understand how it worked. It's like, hey, no, this is good from us. We say this is good.
Trust our in-house.
Yeah, trust our
sponsor.
in-house advertising.
I don't think anybody else does that.
Yeah, well, no wonder why, Caleb. It's like,
Well, Nintendo
we think it's
still
great.
does.
Yeah, I know they do. But now it actually has the recognition.
I mean,
Then
I
it
think
was-
that means more now when there's more third-party developers for main systems. But
well,
back then, they
did
were their only
restrict
developers, right?
content and stuff like that for their system. So they did have certain standards. The standards weren't that great. I mean, E.T. was able to come out for the NES, but
Had the old seal on it.
yeah, I'm sure it had the seal on
yeah,
it.
motherfuckers.
Anyway, you were the closest, Craig, because you said they branded it. So they did brand it.
I
with their
said
quality seal.
reviews and quality control.
So Nintendo already started out by being the dicks of the video game industry. They restricted profanity,
By being the dicks.
sexual content, religious and political representation in their games. So Nintendo brings in this new console that almost single-handedly revitalizes the game industry with the NES. Slow going, but it became a craze. I think is the original Super Mario Bros. Game still one of the biggest sellers of all time because it was with the console? I believe it is. You may want to look that up.
It's been remade a few times, and I think that they keep the sales for those newer versions.
So what differentiates this third generation of...
It is the second biggest selling bundled game, apparently.
Nice.
40 million.
That's crazy. So what differentiates this third generation of video games from those of before? What generation? What separates this generation from the second generation?
Oh, also, real quick, sorry, it is the what is that? 5th best overall at 40.24 million.
Yeah.
which is sick because
is
it came
huge.
with the system.
And the system was not cheap.
Nope. Tetris is number one, baby.
All right,
Tetris
guys.
comes with everything.
Yeah, bought a phone. Tetris sale.
Guys,
Huh?
what about this generation separates it from the last generation?
About the NES?
Yeah, about the NES or the other consoles.
You haven't mentioned any other consoles.
I know. I'll get to it. What separates the NES from the previous generation?
It was Nintendo's.
Nintendo had consoles in the last generation.
Yeah, I don't know
Games that were fun
because
to play.
they're all 16-bit. So
32-bit.
16 colors is 8x8 pixels. I think that's 8-bit. I'm not sure, but you said the word 16, so there you go.
okay,
There's another one for you.
let's drop it.
64-bit.
Cool.
My apologies for not knowing
64-bit is later.
technology stuff. So it had
128.
8x8 pixel resolution.
What are you doing?
Sprite graphics. It had 4 colors, and I think total it had 16 colors, something like that. And then there was one other technical thing, and it wasn't necessarily with the game itself, but the consoles and how you played them.
The cartridges.
Controller.
Okay,
They came with a controller pad instead of a joystick.
it's a D-pad, yo. D-pad, yo.
The D-pad. The
Oh,
directional
yeah.
pad.
Want me to give you the D-pad?
The directional pad.
Yes. So it had D-pad game controllers, which was something for this generation, especially. So there were 4 main consoles in the third generation. We got the NES, and then we got 3 other big ones. If you can name any of them, I will give you 2 Starbursts.
3 other big consoles.
Yeah, during this generation.
I think there was a Sega one.
Sega Genesis.
No, that's
It
like
was-
90s.
Yeah, it was before that one.
Sega Genesis was my favorite
Sega
console.
Saturn? I don't know.
No, Saturn was a field project, wasn't it?
Anybody know any other Sega systems?
Sega
it's not the
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
No, the Dreamcast was later 'cause that was
Saturn,
discs.
Sega.
I'll give
Sega
you 2 hints. I'll give you some hints. 2 of them are Sega systems.
Fucking shit.
And one of them is an Atari system, whose name you should know.
Atari 2600,
Not the 2600.
5200.
Not the 5200.
Are you just doubling it every
10,000
time?
10,400. Atari 10,400.
Okay, well, you got Sega first, so you get another one, Craig.
But which
God,
Sega?
man.
And you're just going to keep guessing Atari, so there you go. The Sega SG-1000
Oh my god.
and the Sega Mark III.
Those are shitty
The
names.
Sega Stargate.
Never would have part of this generation.
Sega game.
And then the Atari 7800.
7800, Caleb.
oh, I fucked it
We've
up.
heard of the Atari 78. Come on. All right. So, which of these 4 systems was technically the most superior?
Which was technically the most superior.
In other words, the how, like the game.
The Sega Stargate.
Sega Stargate.
SG something
There's the
one.
NES, the SG-1000, the Mark III, and the Atari.
SG
Do you know the
1000.
years that they came out?
So the Sega
Well, he was right.
SG-1000 was the best in terms of its computing power. So it had better hardware capabilities than the NES. It had sort of pseudo 3D effects. It increased color palette and a greater memory than any of the other systems. It did well in Europe, but not so well everywhere else. So that's probably why we don't.
That's the story of
That's why I've
Sega.
never heard of the SG-1000, but some European listeners maybe.
That's why I guess the SG-1000 just because Sega did a lot of innovative stuff that they eventually died because of. So
And the SG Mark III, or
Which is
excuse
what
me,
Nintendo is doing now.
yeah,
the Sega Mark III was really popular in Brazil. That's really all the information I have about it. And the Atari 7800, get this, and I think this might have been one of the first instances of this. No, it wasn't, but it was something that was special about on this generation. The Atari 7800 was backwards compatible with other
nice.
Atari games.
Oh, yeah.
that's always a feature that people look for nowadays.
And
Find.
So, you know how Nintendo was like taking all of these third-party developers, putting their quality seal of approval on it, slowly gaining momentum and becoming one of the biggest and best consoles ever? Mm-hmm. This might have been a problem for Atari, and maybe one of the reasons why Atari wasn't able to keep up in this generation. Obviously, they were able to stay afloat through the crash, which is interesting, but they just were not able to keep up with Nintendo quite as well. They were plagued with manufacturing and management problems. They had problems finding third-party developers because Nintendo stole them all. And unfortunately, the Atari 7800 failed to bring back Atari system dominance. So we're looking at pretty much the death of Atari.
So Nintendo had specific contracts that the third parties couldn't work anywhere else.
I assume so.
That's a very big thing, though.
Yeah, third
When you-
parties
when you
Either
begin
that
a
or-
relationship-
for everyone. So
I mean,
that's interesting.
That's a very big thing in an industry where you have to create a deal with someone that they don't work for someone else while they have your proprietary stuff that they're working on. So
I mean, I worked at a Boy Scout camp where like the Pepsi guy would drive all the way up the canyon to give us Pepsi, and he was like, "I'll keep doing this as long as Coke never comes up here." It's like, okay.
yeah,
You got a deal, sir.
well, most locations can only serve either Coke or Pepsi. Once they sign a contract, they can't have the other.
Yeah. Unless it's like a huge place.
Yeah,
Or a gas
if they can
station.
get away with it, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like
That's a huge place.
a
to
big
you.
chain of shit.
Okay.
So
Yeah, such as yourself.
Fuck you.
so I do have a list here of other game systems sort of trailing from the second generation that were part of this generation technically. Does anybody want to give a guess? Because I've never heard of any of these.
About the games?
About the gaming systems.
Oh, gaming systems?
Yeah. I mean, every generation has like these other little systems that are considered part of the generation, but no one ever fucking remembers them or plays on them. Except for like the old generations had like 8 main ones. But
I have no clue.
no clue. Anybody have any guesses for other systems?
IntelliGel 2600.
So basically a bet.
Yeah.
There is one. Oh, never mind. There is one I had heard of before this.
Dude, I don't remember
You're
any
gonna
of
be
the...
mad when I say it too.
Is it like the Magnavox?
No, we already
Magnavox
passed the
Odyssey.
Magnavoxes.
Okay. No more Magnavoxes. All right. I don't know what it would
Okay,
be.
all right. So we got the Casio PV1000.
Oh my
I know.
god.
Casio.
Fucking
Classic.
Casio.
Casio is a watch brand maker now. So
Casio's an everything
yeah,
maker.
but they do a lot of good watches.
They do
Maker
good
even?
watches.
Yeah. Well, good cheap
Are
watches.
they the same people that are making the electronic keyboards? That's the real question.
Yes, they did that too. Yeah.
Okay,
They
all
do
right.
make a lot of stuff like
Did they make a watch that is also an electronic keyboard?
And a television.
No.
Super Cassette Vision.
They make the risk calculators though.
You guys might have heard about this. The Atari XEGS. The Action Max.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Action Max.
The
Is actually kind of familiar.
the ViewMaster Interactive Vision.
Sounds like a porn thing.
The VTech Socrates.
In the
The
Plato.
Amstrad GX 4000. Some of these, I think, are just Japanese only systems. As
Aristotle box.
Well. All right. And the infamously bad, and I'm going to slowly start to say it, and you can shout out the name. The Commodore,
Commodore.
64.
Commodore 64.
What the fuck, guys?
Commodore 64.
I was just going to let you say it, but it was... Yeah.
Well, you were supposed to shout it. He actually said the whole thing, and you kind of
I
said it. so there
do
you go.
know that console.
Yeah, we've
at
heard
least.
about the Commodore 64. It's supposed to be extremely terrible. That's all I
Sounds
know about it, pretty much, right?
British.
I just know the name.
All right, so don't look this up, and hopefully it's not on there. Sales. So we're looping the Sega systems.
Just kick your screen,
The
Caleb.
Sega
That's safe.
systems were basically the same system. They were just like updates to each other. Mm-hmm. Then we had the NES and we had the Atari. How many copies? Not copies, I guess. I guess they are copies. How many consoles did the Atari 7800 sell?
Did the Atari 7800 sell?
Yeah. This is the lowest selling of the big ones.
The lowest selling?
Yeah. In terms of copies of their consoles.
I'm going to say 1 million.
You say 1 million. Any other
I
guesses?
see 550,000.
550,000.
750K.
1 million is the answer.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how many, but it said 1 million. Way to go. So it sold 1 million consoles.
Okay.
Which is quite a bit less from their previous systems. Okay. The Sega systems combined. How many consoles was Sega able to sell during this
3?
generation?
They had 2.
They had 2
They
consoles.
sold about 300.
One was an update to the other.
I'm going to say 3.5 million.
3.5?
No, wait. 4.5 million.
I will say it does a lot better than the Atari. Do you want to? I'll let the next person.
7.5.
Okay, 7.5. All right,
3 million.
3 million.
10 million.
10. Now, okay. Now remember, guys, this was a big system in Brazil and in Europe. The Sega systems both sold combined of 17.8 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Those are some big numbers.
That's almost Wii U.
I was like, what?
Isn't Wii U at like 20 million? Didn't we look that up before?
I'm not sure what it's
So I got to look up it. There's another console that we're going to guess on, so don't look up numbers right now. You can look it up.
Don't do it, you fuck.
I'm looking at the current gen.
Okay.
You're good.
Because I hate talking about this and being wrong, and then someone corrects, and then it's fucking...
Oh, 13.32 million.
Oh.
As of 30th of September of this year. For
So the Sega
Oh,
systems did
well.
better than the Wii U.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nintendo.
Now the best one, the king of this generation, and the console to kickstart this generation, the Nintendo Entertainment System or the Famicom or the NES. How many did it sell?
20.
20?
$20
we
million.
said earlier, I'm going to help you out, Cameron. We said earlier that the game that was bundled with it sold 40 million copies.
It's gonna. I'm gonna.
up.
I'm gonna
That's
say.
2 copies per system, if that were the case.
I'm gonna say 60 million.
60 million?
40 million.
Cameron says 40 million quietly into the microphone.
40 million. It's 0.42 less than Super Mario
I'm
Bros.
going to say 100 million. No, 80 million.
80 million. Okay. The answer is 61.91 million.
Yeah, that's right, motherfuckers.
Craig is killing this one, right?
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Jeez Louise. So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good for today's standard, that's 61 million. I mean, that's pretty awesome. The biggest games on the NES. What were the top 3 selling games on the Nintendo Entertainment System?
Legend of Zelda, Metroid, and Super Mario Bros. Or Mario Bros.
Cameron.
Like in this generation?
Yeah, for the NES.
There was Super Mario Bros.
There was a Mario Bros. And I think there's a Super Mario Bros. It was whatever one came bundled with the system.
So Mario Bros. I'm going to have to agree with what he said. Because
All 3 of those?
Yeah.
Mario Bros. Dr. Mario. That might be a Super NES game.
Yeah, I don't think Dr. Mario came out for a little while.
That might be. Tetris. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, the top 3 biggest selling games as of me writing this, and I hope I'm correct on this, Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3.
Oh,
Wow.
well, I guess I
y'all
should've figured
said
that.
Mario Bros, so enjoy.
asshole.
Mario Bros. 1 sold 40 million copies, as we saw earlier. Number 3 sold 18 million, and then 2, which was a bastard, didn't really exist. That one sold 10 million copies.
Huh.
Yeah. Can anybody name a Sega game from this generation? I have the list of the biggest games on the Sega. SG-1000 and the Mark III. Anybody name a Sega? This might be hard. This might be, unless you're a
Sonic.
Sega fanboy, it might be tough.
Sonic.
No, I don't think Sonic.
Sonic was
existed.
later, but
Fucking shit, dude.
That I didn't want to do the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to
Or the
do like
Jeopardy
give me a
thing.
hint by making a tune.
Dance, Dance Revolution.
And I was like, I don't know what that is.
was it really James Bond?
Anybody have any guesses or any Sega
No.
games at this time?
I can't do it. I
Okay.
can't fucking do it.
We got one called Flicky.
Oh,
Classic.
The classic of
All right.
Flicky.
No, here's the thing. Apparently, these games are considered classics in other territories. So, some of our listeners might have
Fuck
heard
you,
of
other
these.
territories.
Most of those sales for Sega systems were elsewhere. I'm telling you that. Flicky, Congo Bongo, Sega Galaga, and Girls Garden.
Sega Galaga? God
sounds
damn it.
hot.
I would have guessed Galaga. but-
Garden gone overgrown,
And then the biggest,
gone wild.
Garden trimmers.
the biggest, there was no big Atari game. They were just pretty much previous Atari games were what they were selling. So they had already defaulted to that point where they're just like, fuck it. We just have a library and we have nothing else. We can't think of any other games for this system.
Yep.
Now my favorite part. The prices of each of these systems.
Ooh.
How much did the Sega SG-1000 cost? And it was only in Japan. The Mark III was the one that went everywhere else.
1 million yen.
1 million yen.
$100,000.
That's a shitload of money, dude.
Yeah.
You want to take that back, maybe?
I was.
You don't
the
have to
joke,
say yen. You
the
can
joke
say-
was $1 million.
You can say dollars.
No, it's not $1 million.
We got the joke, but
But I wanted to make it yen because
You
it's
can
in
say
Japan.
dollars.
No, I want to say $1 million. So the price of the system, right?
Not to make.
No, not to make, to buy. Consumer, you want the
Yeah,
system in your
consumer.
house. I'm thinking you're parting with around $550.
Not in modern day amounts, but back then amounts.
Back then, amounts it was still extremely
Okay.
expensive back then. But no,
$550.
let's go $250.
All right, $250.
I'll go to a flat 200.
300.
200 is closest. It was $150 or 15,000 yen in Japan. The Sega Mark III, I got some different prices, but I'll give it the U.S. price. So do we want to do modern day amount, like how much it would cost if it were sold today at the same amount?
No, let's not
Or do
mess
we
with
wanna do
conversion
back then?
rates.
Okay. Well, I got the conversion rate next to it just for fun.
I'll say 175 current. Or back.
175?
280.
Okay, and this was the
280?
one that was before the SG, right?
This was after the SG. It was like the SG, but it was put in other territories.
So it was the update for the...
Oh, this was being sold to Brazil, right?
The SG, yeah.
So no, I'm going to revise that amount.
Brazil, I don't have Brazil's price. I just have the U.S.
They
price.
probably had a meat cook.
I'm going to go 200 again.
200?
I already said 280.
Oh, okay. 200's the winner. It was $199.99.
Fuck, I was thinking that.
Hell yeah, bitches.
In Japan, it was 24,200 yen. In Europe, it was 100 euros. By the way, the price now, if it were sold today for the same amount, $432.
It was 100 euros and 200 US dollars.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know what you want me to say.
The value is crazy.
Okay, and the Atari 7800.
249. Fuck you, Craig.
$50 at a used garage sale.
With all games.
I'm going to say 150.
Holy crap. Okay, it was 140.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ, Craig.
Suck my balls, you guys.
Old electronics. He's going to be the dude who has his own little dingy electronic shop.
So for some reason, I don't have the Nintendo amount, like how much it cost, and that would be a cool thing to look up. But basically, as a wrap-up, in the third generation, Nintendo set the model of what was to come as far as the console market was concerned. I mean, we had a totally different type of market before this generation. If you remember, with the Atari and all the copycat systems, and sometimes the game was just part of the system. Sometimes they'd have cartridge things, and then the type of controllers were all different types of controllers. But now it was like Nintendo. This is the standard, and it's a standard that, although they would deviate from it somewhat with discs and with different types of controllers, different their own company controller, Sega and the PlayStation and eventually the Xbox would all follow the same model that Nintendo created. So although the Sega and Atari consoles were well gone by this point, the third generation officially ends with the discontinuation of the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1995.
Jesus.
So it lasted a
PS1
while.
was out then.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, huh? They were still making them.
Wow.
That's nuts. Anyway, guys.
I'm disgusted by that.
So that is the third generation of video games. And next time I have to do one of these, we'll be talking about the fourth generation.
Sweet.
Yeah. Do we want to get fat?
We might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well get fat. Caleb Craig, what's going on?
Same as always.
It's absolutely
playing,
nothing.
Yeah, just playing some games and
Nice.
doing some
Oh,
stuff.
okay, cool.
You'll
Yeah.
go far. I said it here first.
Yep.
Playing some games, doing some stuff.
Good
How's
work.
the animation thing going?
It's doing all right. Watching some more movies. Need to go see a few.
The animation thing. What are
I'm
you
just
talking
wondering
about?
how
Yeah,
the animated movie thing is going.
Oh,
still watching some movies.
It's not.
Okay. Cameron, what's up?
Well, bank accounts in the negatives. Maybe it's because I took a couple people out to sushi dinner.
That was nice.
you didn't
That
have
was
to.
real nice.
No, it wasn't because of that. It's because I spent tons of money on
Sure,
groceries.
part of it was because of that.
I could afford that.
Yeah, but think of the hot
There's money
gay
coming
sex you
in and
gotta
there's
have.
money going out.
That's the best part.
yeah. And then all the sake.
You guys
I
remember
heard,
to
though-
film it for me, right?
Yeah.
I heard though
Okay.
that some of the best sake you can get is the cool kind, not the hot sake.
I've had good cold sake.
So maybe when next time we go and
I
someone
think I
else
can't
pays,
drink alcohol anymore. Like
we'll get some
it's
cool
rough. I
sake.
can't do it anymore.
I can drink beer all day.
It's been so long, and then it's like
I can
not
drink
enjoyable.
alcohol. I don't like to drink it when I'm alone. I hate that.
you should hate that. That's
So-
a good thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
No,
how you
I-
become an
I know.
alcoholic. is
It's
to do
only
it
fun
alone.
being drunk when you're surrounded by drunk people. When you're all by yourself, it's just kind of sad. So I don't ever do
It's
that.
very sad.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is also an intervention for Caleb.
Yeah.
He was drinking pretty heavily that one night we're playing Battlefield. So that's where my finances are at. I actually might have 2 books read this month by the time it's over. So hopefully there's hoping on that.
Red or
Red.
wait, which ones?
He doesn't know.
I need to get back on the horse with the diet again. It's just so hard when your funds are so limited to only buy fucking meat. And,
Yeah.
and so like when I spent money at the grocery store, basically what I've done is I bought 24 packs of ramen and then 24 eggs, and I will cook the noodles, throw inside the noodles in a skillet, crack a couple eggs in it, and cook some chicken in there with it, and I'll have that to eat with
The
soy
chicken
sauce.
is where you run into a brick wall of costs.
Well, I got the frozen tenderloin chicken because that's
All right, it's
quick
decent.
quick to thaw and quick to cook.
I will say I've gone off the diet like a few times in the last couple weeks because of circumstances, like today. Now I'm eating a Starburst.
We pressured you into getting the Starburst.
And,
Not pressuring to eat them, no.
No, I have to be on a film set tonight, and I'll probably be there for 8 hours, and they're going to feed the crew, and then that's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
like
it's,
with pizza.
events like that, it's hard when people are providing
Yeah,
food for you.
that's why I keep getting off of the fucking diet.
Yeah, like
All
every
this
for me
free
every
food.
Tuesday it's free food. I'm like, it's free though.
It's included in the
It's
cost
not in
of
the
your-
diet. I don't
It's
have to pay
included
for
in
it,
the cost
though.
of your employment. Just tell yourself that, and then you can resist.
So
Hey, Joe, look at me again. It's like one eye is not looking at me, but the other one, there you go.
what the fuck?
It looked like one eye was looking over my shoulder and the other eye was looking at, yeah, like that, but you're making it do that.
Apparently I'm cross-eyed.
Or a lazy eye. It's Not the same thing.
You have a tired, lazy eye. When you're tired, it kind of wanders off to the side a little bit.
What around? Yeah, I can feel it.
But what about you, Caleb?
I just like to look sideways. That's all you need to know about me. Let's see. I don't know. School's going all right. Money's going all right. Still trying to recover from last month's Uber expense, but I do get paid 3 times next month. It was like $40 for Joe's project, and then $130 for that World of Final Fantasy full hog. And then there were a few other things that I bought that were
Plane tickets.
I bought that this month.
Okay, you will be refunded for those.
I will, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have the flight information about your plane tickets, Greg?
he's gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You better hurry fucking do it, or else there's not going to be a spot for you on that plane, and you'd have to fly your own sorry ass self all by yourself.
Don't you worry
over
about
there.
it.
I have a feeling if you don't get tickets in that plane, you're not going.
You're not even going.
We're
so what
going
do
to
you
New
care?
York too. By the way, that's where the flight's to.
Yeah, for
It's like an hour.
CoupleCon.
Is it the
Get to,
JFK airport?
Newark from there. Yeah, it's JFK.
Yeah.
Okay, so you better get tickets, or else you're
It's
gonna
an
be
hour
flying by
drive.
yourself.
Public transportation hour.
So are we taking the train?
Yeah,
Okay.
and plus
we got
we're
to
gonna
figure all that stuff out.
we're gonna fuck around in New York the first day too. So we're gonna get there like 5 a.m. So it's gonna be sweet.
We might as well.
See, I kind
know.
of want to go
Get
with you
some
guys
pizza.
just to do
Fuck
that.
yeah,
While you
dude.
guys go to the CoupoCon, I can just chill in New
Hey, if
York.
anybody lives in New York, can you tell us where to go get pizza?
Yeah, we want God tier pizza.
Yeah,
God tier.
I love God tier pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had New York pizza.
even if it's a corner street pizza, then
Yeah.
we'd love that stuff. So
Yeah, if I have to.
We might as well. We got like a day to do nothing, right?
Yeah, we have the first day. We don't have anything. So
So we might as well spend some time in the city for a
Yeah.
little bit.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Get
And,
one of their famous hot dogs.
the flight was a little bit cheaper to New York than it was to Newark through Blue. What the fuck was it? It was the
a JetBlue. I think?
JetBlue. Yeah, JetBlue.
I've heard though one thing you can do is if you turn your browser onto incognito mode or go through a proxy and you buy tickets from a different country, but then from a different country to a different location, but the stopover flight is in New York, then you
Sounds like
buy that
terrorist stuff.
No. It's cheaper that way. There's actually websites that help you do it where your changeover flight for that ticket path would normally be New York, but then you jump on a change. But no, you just get off and you stay there because that's where you really want to be. And I heard that can be cheaper for tickets.
Oh yeah, travel agents do shit like that all the time. I think.
yeah. And you used to have to pay them to do that. And so they hate it
we're
when you
getting
can.
fucked. Is that what I'm
So we need to
hearing?
go to India first.
No.
Then we'll go to New York.
So what you need to do is you buy a ticket from India to like Chicago or something with this changeover in New York, and
You only get on the changeover flight.
yeah.
How is that cheaper? How the fuck?
Because they're currencies.
Are we getting ass raped?
No, it's
that
cheaper.
bad
It's
by the
cheaper
airlines?
because
They're like,
no.
"Fuck Americans."
This is how it is.
Fuck
Let's say New York is a popular destination.
India is
It's
ripping our country
No,
off.
but see, we're doing it wrong because the changeover needs to be in Salt Lake City. So it would really be buying a flight from Moscow to Moscow to somewhere. So 2 changeover
Yeah, we'll
stops,
just
so one
order
in
a
Salt Lake
wife
City,
so you can
and then
crash.
Yeah. And then we can, have our way. Just like an added bonus.
Hey, it's locker room talk, man.
Yeah.
or no, you buy a ticket from Salt Lake City, from Salt Lake City to somewhere
Caleb
else.
Schwartz talked about sexually assaulting a woman from
Yeah.
Russia.
That's locker room talk.
It's locker room talk.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We do it all the time in the locker room.
Man.
But I mean,
No, so we got that coming up. And
I was about to say something.
so my expenses,
Terrible shit.
my expenses are under control now. I think I should be good. What else am I doing? I finished book 2 of Game of Thrones. It was great. Started book 3. And
He read words.
Read a book.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah. And keyword read though, people in your listening.
I'm consuming
Unbelievable.
media
talking about?
and understanding
Shit,
it.
I've still
I
read
can.
more books than you have.
You have way more time
Physically.
than me. You're unemployed.
That's true.
Your position doesn't count because you don't make money. I can say that to you now. And you know what? I don't have to put up with your ginger bullshit anymore either, because you might be a protected group. You might have been a protected group a week ago, Joe, but today you are not.
The bullshit has to stop.
I know, but let's see, what else do I have? I don't know. I don't know what else I have on my goals, but everything's going fine. So it's been good. Oh, the diet, I'm like fat again. Not super fat, but like 186.
No, it's seriously funny because just the other day we were over here and he's like, yeah, I probably gained like 12 pounds since I got off the diet. And that's like in a week since he stopped the diet.
It's been like 2.5. It's mostly water weight, though.
I stopped the diet for 3 days intermittently in the last 2 weeks. And I went up 5 pounds, and then I went back down to where I was yesterday.
The trick is
it's so
easing
easy
yourself
to
out of
gain
the
it
diet.
back.
Well,
God.
the trick is to ease yourself. You can't just like go full hog again.
But I do every time.
You have to. We don't believe in anything less.
Go full hog to the feed trough. Just
Get that feedback.
Can't do anything less.
No, I had we had like a 401k meeting at my work, and they provided lunch. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't just not take free
was it?
lunch. It was a ham sandwich. It was really good.
no, it's dumb.
And chips, sun chips. There were
You
sun
can
chips.
be the asshole who
Oh, man,
just,
sun
just takes
chips.
the ham and just eats the ham.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you can have the rest.
Ignore everything else.
We have
Yeah.
every Tuesday we have lunch, and it's just like sometimes it's just so hard to with their Tuesday lunch to stick to the diet with only
so much
meat
Taco Bell.
because they'll do awesome stuff like
Taco Bell.
Sometimes they'll do Zupas, which is pretty bad, but then other times there's this place called Apple Spice, and they have so many different varieties of food you can get from them.
Dude, so my mom got on this diet and lost 10 pounds. I almost said gained.
Go smack.
And
hear
it's
that, Mom?
awesome because now there's plenty of that food around because
There's plenty of
she
meat?
decided she saw me losing weight and she wanted to be on it as well. But my mom has been looking up fucking recipes for low carb shit, and my God, there is some really like, let me tell you the world's best dessert. You know the Jell-O brand pudding
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the little boxes?
Yeah.
Take that and like I think it's like a quart or like it's like that big of cream.
Okay.
Just straight up whipping cream. And you just put them together, whip it up for like 5 minutes, put it in the fridge for like 10 minutes. And my God, it is the sweetest, most beautiful thing ever. It's got to be the sugar-free Jell-O pudding. And it's like a carb for like a quarter of a cup.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Whipped cream is really low, too.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is good. It is like, this tastes like I shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah. It's all that
tastes like
cream,
I'm
man.
eating-
It's all
Dude,
that fat.
It
Just
is
gonna-
like a lot of calories.
Yeah.
He's gonna go home and fill a
calories don't
bathtub
matter.
with it.
Yeah.
Calories don't matter.
I need
on
that
this diet.
bid.
So but if you're like have a
So you're
sweet
saying-
tooth like crazy and it costs like nothing
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
What about the main course meals though that are low carb? Are those
Just eat
better
the
too?
pudding.
Now your mom's making it.
She's just like cooking steaks and stuff with mushrooms on the side.
Nice.
Mushrooms have carbs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
it's
a lot.
not eating no carbs, Cameron. It's eating low carbs.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just
So
letting you know
if you
there's,
have
there's
20
more
carbs
than a
a
little
day-
bit of carbs in mushrooms.
It's like 4 carbs for a cup of mushrooms. So my God.
Calm yourself.
Anyway. Or it might be more than that, but either way it's fine.
Yeah. So speaking of the election stuff, the reason why we keep saying keep going wooloo throughout the podcast, there's this meme out there that I saw that was it had Michigan, right? Had the state of Michigan. It was all blue. And then it had Donald Trump dressed up as the priest from the Age of Empires game, and then he was like going wooloo, and then below it, Michigan was red. It was the like single greatest meme I had ever seen in that moment in time.
Oh yeah, that was a fucking deep pull too.
Yeah, I was
because
like, oh my
when he
God.
sent us that, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then when I realized what it was fucking hilarious. Oh man,
Someone else put the video of what it was. It might have been you, and that's the only.
No,
I
Cam
looked
Cam.
at the thing and I was like, "What the fuck is so funny?"
Yeah.
I listen to that. I just listen to that the rest of the day at work. Wololo, 0.5 speed. Wololo.
Yeah, so that was entertaining, and so we got to deal with that now. All the people freaking out, and it's kind of annoying. But
God, they need to calm the fuck down.
yeah,
I did not vote for Trump. I am not a Trump supporter.
I did not vote for Trump. Not a Trump supporter.
yeah, none of us did.
None of us.
And Caleb didn't vote at all because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
But
too lazy. I knew.
Are you fucking serious? You didn't vote?
I knew who was going to win. Didn't have to.
doesn't
You knew Trump was going to win?
Yeah, about
Based
like
on what?
About 2 weeks before.
based on
No one knew Trump was going to win.
I just knew it.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no,
that
no,
guy is
no.
going to fucking win.
No
And then he
one
did.
no one knew he was going to win because I can't get into this. This is going to be.
do it.
I can't.
We've
We
gone
are
into
not
politics
political.
before.
We are not politicians. We are not.
Dude, we're
very
huge in
intelligent.
Texas.
This
We're
is now
fine.
the section
You're
where
not very
nobody has.
intelligent. You are correct, Cameron.
Yeah.
They know that already.
They don't have to care what we say about
It
this.
is the media who basically ran a campaign with, "Oh, Hillary's going to win, so we're going to do whatever we
Well,
can
every
to make
poll
Hillary
thought
win."
Hillary was gonna win.
No, but they kept projecting it, and then they did what they could do to make it happen. So it was them over projecting leftist
Well,
stuff that made this happen.
Also,
because-
what happens is millennials and younger people that are normally vote Democrat are the ones who will do these pre-election polls. So, of course, it's going to show that their person's going to win.
My
You're not asking the
university-
I've never
70,
heard that before.
70
My
80-year-olds
university
who they think's
safe
going to win
place.
on a fucking website
And she did
poll.
win the popular vote, so in a way,
by a 0.1%.
correct.
By a 0.1%.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't know if it's justified all the freaking out.
it's not. And just think of
I felt
think of the
terrible
reverse.
because I voted for Hillary Clinton. I felt terrible for like
Motherfucker.
an hour.
I was
I
this
was
close.
going to vote for Jerry. Dude,
I was this close to voting for Hillary Clinton because of her stand. She might not be her own personal stand because we all know Hillary can have a personal persona and a political persona,
As you should.
but her party stance on environmental issues were important to me. But I didn't like her, so I voted Gary Johnson. In the end.
that's the reason
Feel
I
the
didn't vote for
Johnson.
Gary Johnson in the end was the environmental stuff.
Yeah,
I think the environment is a very important thing, and Gary Johnson is not.
exactly. That's why I was almost about to vote for Hillary.
And I agree with about half of everything Gary Johnson says, but at the same time, you get a lot of points for being like an honest, decent person,
Yeah.
from what I can tell. And Hillary, I see like the metal metallic fake smile that she always has on.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Ted Cruz's, but
No, it's
it
not.
is there.
But it is.
that one meme with the balloons dropping down when
does
she run the Democratic
unfortunately,
National
she does not
Convention.
have the same skill that her husband does of just looking relaxed.
Yeah.
And looking like real.
But you
Like,
remember,
you're talking-
you remember that gif though of her just like with her wide open mouth and wide eyes as the balloons are falling down. It's like she's faking human emotions. Is what she's doing. She's a robot.
She might not be, but that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But I still voted for her, regardless.
I was
no.
surprised, but
You know, I'm
not
gonna
anymore,
get.
though.
I'm going to. I know get flack for this, but I'm kind of happy Trump won over Hillary. Not because
Oh my
I
God.
think Trump should be president. I think he should not be president.
I don't think any of
But
the people
I am
running
glad
this
that
year
someone
should be
outside. I'm glad that someone outside, an outsider, beat Hillary, and I'm glad that all the she is evil. Is everything evil is Hillary, and I was going to vote for her too. So don't give me that.
Evil.
Yes.
Evil's a strong word.
Yeah, she is.
party sucks, so she can fuck off.
And it's the Democrats' fault that Trump won too. That they picked Hillary to be their front woman.
I think Bernie would have lost too.
You think Bernie would have lost
I
against
have
Trump?
no idea.
Absolutely. There's no one's gonna vote a socialist in, dude. Come on. Look at how.
I would have voted for Bernie.
I would have voted for Bernie.
and I would have
hands
voted
down.
for Bernie happily. I voted for Hillary begrudgingly.
I would have voted for Bernie hands down. He just like.
I would have been a Johnson man regardless.
Okay, this is an argument that that goes both ways. There's little that a president can really do to change the system. If he comes down to it, he can only do so much of what they promise. So that's good news about Trump. And if you're
For the more extreme policies that he
Yeah.
has thought of, yeah.
but then with same thing with Bernie, with his socialist ideas, he could only go so far with them.
and would probably still been a Republican led.
Well, if you think about it too,
Absolutely.
Trump's standpoint right now, how like his actual political views, how Republican are they?
They're not.
They're not. They're
a
more
lot of them are
Democrat.
very right, and then a lot of them are centrist. So
He's like a 90s Democrat.
no, he's not.
And then Hillary,
Not
she's
with that immigration
she has
stick.
lots of conservative policies too.
I don't know, man. I don't know about lots of conservatives.
Not lots, but you have to look at it through.
You really think they're gonna save money expanding the healthcare
No.
thing that's already costing us?
No, not like that. But
Well, that's
She wanted a socialist healthcare. In the
exactly.
mid-90s.
That's not conservative
I think
at
those-
all. I know what you mean, though. Neither of them are super on one side or the other, and that's
Trump-
why they were the finalists.
Trump
That's what
defeated
happens.
the Republicans and became their front man, and then he
Can't
defeated the
believe that.
Democrats.
That is nuts. I don't know a single. Okay, all right. So we're all living in our own social bubbles, and that's probably
That's what got shattered.
That's probably why I was so fucking shocked when I was like, oh my God. There was a point when he was like, I don't know, like $1 million ahead of Clinton. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's going to win.
Yeah.
That is insane.
When he won Florida, I was like, dude, I think this guy's going to win this thing.
And then Utah, I know 2 people personally. I only know 2 people that I know voted for Trump. And I know most everybody who ever voted, like I know who they voted for.
Yeah.
Now, Utah did have a pretty big, they were 20% went to Evan McMullen, which other people might not know about.
He's a Mormon Republican.
Mormon Republican who didn't like Trump, and so
Yeah.
he ran in this state, and
Yep.
they got 20% of the vote.
He ran in a few states, I believe.
And Hillary got about 25%, I want to say.
Yeah.
My percentages might be off here. In fact, they probably definitely are. And then Trump got 56% or something like that. And I was like, where the fuck are these Trump supporters at?
You know what it is?
Where are they?
It goes a lot. It goes a lot with what
here.
the.
I'm
with-
still friends with people from my old neighborhood, so I'm still friends with people in like
But think of it-
middle-aged people. I'm not hearing anybody going yes Trump except for my own fucking grandma.
But think of it this way. Think of it. It has to go a lot with what
The racist one?
what the.
yes, the racist
It
grandma.
has to
Okay.
go a lot with what the protesters
Not
are saying
racist
right now.
because she supports Trump, but racist because she is racist.
The whole
Yeah, that's what
leftist thing was if you vote Trump, you must be a despicable person. Someone who felt like, oh, I need to vote for Trump, they felt like they couldn't really make their voice be heard, but then they felt, man, privately, anonymously, I can vote my conscience and feel really good about it. So a lot of people who were going to vote for Trump didn't say anything because they were going to be labeled as rapists and not rape, but they were going to be labeled as racists.
I think they were
and
begrudging
bigots.
votes from the right.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think
too.
they were mostly pissed off Republicans that they had to vote Trump, but they felt like they had to vote Trump because of the Supreme Court nominee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest changing factor was the Supreme Court.
And
thing.
then a lot of people are saying that stuff in the Midwest with the failing auto industry, Trump has promised
He
a
definitely
lot,
did a lot more there
of
than Hillary did.
stuff around
The Rust
there
Belt,
about
yeah.
bringing back jobs to that area. And so the idea is that that's another reason why.
Some of
I
those
think
flipped.
some people, especially like, I consider myself left of center, right?
Right.
I think some people on the left are thinking that people voted because of the racist stance that Trump has on a few things. And they're not great. And they're probably the reason I kind of despise Trump as a nominee. But I don't know.
Look,
I don't think a whole bunch of white people voted for Trump because of the racist things.
Here's what
didn't.
happened. I don't think racism and bigotry won the election. I think classic politics
and
lost.
the other way you have to look
I
at
think
it,
that's
it's
what
not,
it is.
A woman didn't lose the presidency either.
And it's
She
not,
didn't get
it's
voted out
not because
she's a
we're
woman.
still sexist. If I have to hear that from one more motherfucking person, I'm going to blow up, dude. We voted in a misogynistic, racist person before a woman. I'm like, oh, yeah, just a woman, just a normal human being. Oh, wait, no. It's this woman, this fuck. It's not the sexism one out. It's your fucking candidate sucked dick. Get a better one and maybe you'll win. Like, God, I can't stand that. Like, they're like, we're going to have to wait longer to get a female president. Who gives a fuck? It's not about them being female. It's about them being a good fucking candidate. Nobody chose Barack Obama. Okay, maybe they did because he's black, but he shouldn't win just because he's fucking black. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely absurd.
Trump got more of the minority vote than Mitt Romney did?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. You know what? It's actually maybe not that crazy, but because Mitt Romney was going against a black dude. And that matters to some people, but it's ridiculous, the idea that we should have had a female president.
I think it's ridiculous to vote for whatever your demographic is.
I think that is too, yeah.
I voted for a woman.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not rich. I voted for a guy who I would probably have an increase in taxes under, maybe. Actually, no, not if everything was passed with Johnson. It'd be a wonderful world. But but honestly, like I'm not like yeah. Freedom, baby.
Why the fuck didn't you vote, Greg? Like, I don't care. You could say you're a Trump supporter,
Caleb,
and we'd give you shit for it.
I'm going to tell you this story because when I registered to vote when I was in Salt Lake City still, when I was still living there. And when it came down to voting time, I forgot to switch my districts. So
do you have to go up there?
No. So this is what happened. I voted where you can vote for your place from somewhere else. I forget what it's called. But basically, I just needed to prove where I lived. I needed to prove where I lived, where I did, and I had everything in I needed to have mail and stuff. I was prepared because I had to go back in there several times to get everything I needed to fucking just drive all the way back up to Salt Lake City to vote. Yeah. Because that was important to me, and a vote needed to happen from me, or else I couldn't have a clear conscience.
Do you guys see what I'm saying?
And then you sat down and
I knew he was gonna win. Like now,
did anybody in your family vote?
I have no idea.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I'm just saying I didn't switch my thing over to that I'm living in Payson now, and it was the only day that I could go see my dad. So
I just said that I didn't switch the thing over that I'm living in Vineyard now, but I still voted.
By the way, Cameron's living in Vineyard, a place with 20 houses, so if you want to find Cameron, just start knocking.
Not going to be living there much longer, apparently, at the end of the month.
Yeah. No, do you guys see what I'm saying, though, about how it's ridiculous that they think that, like, racism and all that won out? I don't think that's really what won. I really do think...
I understand. I do understand the fear, although I don't...
People on Facebook go, I'm going to unfriend everyone who voted Trump because I can't just believe you would vote for someone like that. You must be a terrible person. No.
I mean, they're dumb, but yeah.
It doesn't have to do with...
Well, they're both dumb. Both parties are going to take away liberties, and they're both going to raise
And the people
taxes.
writing, they are wasting
That's how it goes.
They are writing against a president. Oh, Hillary didn't win. We're going to go fucking riot in the street.
Yeah.
When they should be getting together and then protesting the system.
Peaceful protesting is fine. Also... If anyone wants to get rid of the Electoral College, go fuck yourself.
That's dumb, too. The people go, well, the archaic system of Electoral College.
It's archaic because the Founding Fathers put it in place so that states like Utah get fucking representation in our country.
Exactly. The Electoral College is there to protect minorities, not to silence them.
It's to protect the small states and the areas that aren't just like uber populated.
See,
so
all these different states and bodies came over and they were trying to eke out what the Constitution should be. And they didn't want the large states to have too much power than the small states. So this is something that they have put together
against corruption
to protect against corruption, where you can't buy votes very easily, and it protects the minorities from being overruled all the time by the larger states.
Right.
If it happened, then then if this was just a popular vote only, then the candidates only go to New York, California,
votes as well.
And you could buy votes away easy. The Electoral College is there to protect our system, not to impede.
Yeah, it is funny how the Democrats always lose with the Electoral College, though. It seems like they get fucked
in 2000. You're right.
Repeatedly. I don't know in the early days if it was technically Democratic Party. I know there were a few times that it happened.
I think Obama won both last time.
Yeah, he did.
And the time before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think Bush won both over Kerry as well.
Hasn't there only been 5 people elected from the Electoral College that didn't win the popular vote?
It's 5 times.
Yeah, only 5 times.
Is it 5 times now or
5 times now?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's not that bad.
Yeah, no, and it's anyone that's out there trying
It's
to
always
repeal
close
it
anyway.
just to get their person to win. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's just childish. It's children out in the streets throwing a tantrum because they don't know how to act like adults.
Yeah, plus they don't have fucking jobs, so I mean, they don't have to go
Fuck
to those.
you.
No.
Let's
Get you
add
to
a
jab
little
at Joe
fire.
every turn.
It's not a jab at Joe. It's obviously they have nothing better to do, or they would be doing it.
No. I believe that there is something wrong with the system. Money is too much of a factor in electing people. I believe there are certain things that should be protested, but they're doing it exactly wrong.
Yeah, they're taking the...
They're rioting and throwing a temper tantrum in the streets because someone was elected president.
And I love it because I see people that were like, you know what? Regardless of what happens tonight, we need to come together. And then when their person lost, they lose their fucking minds. They just go off like, oh, this is fascism by the textbook. I can't believe this. White America, you're racist. I'm like, oh, so come together until your person loses, and then all of a sudden it's fucking fascism. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
And then
it's like such a sure thing. That to me made it worth having Donald
It took me
Trump
about an
become...
hour to accept it. I was kind of like filled with dread, and then I was like,
It's like, you know what? It doesn't fucking matter.
you know.
But I've heard reports going the other way. Now that Trump has won, lots of more of the racist people who voted for Trump are getting kind of uppity
Well, of course,
too.
yeah.
They're graffitiing stuff and being threatening, which is horrible.
There was a racist note at UVU. Like, they were saying, we don't have to put up with the gays and the Muslims.
Wow.
And
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
How much of that, though?
Who the fuck is doing that? It's probably the same person who's carving shit on the goddamn wall in the fucking bathroom with shit.
Probably.
It is that same person.
And he's still fucking there.
That fucking asshole.
How much of this, though, do you think are angry people who voted for Hillary, wanted to prove how bad people are who voted for Trump, are now going around and leaving racist notes to make the other side look bad?
I don't know about
Almost
that.
none.
I don't know. I think
That's
some
ridiculous,
can be.
Cameron.
No,
I think-
not when you're mad enough.
I think everyone's
Cameron,
just having knee-jerk reactions.
I know. Let me tell you something. I almost never believe a conspiracy theory.
Unless it's the magic bullet theory, of course. You believe that that's bullshit, right?
Yeah, it sounds bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, it's.
I don't know how accurate the movie JFK is versus the
I
movie.
only watched half of it, dude.
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I don't have an opinion.
Well,
about
that's
that,
the real theory.
But I also do not allow myself to hear conspiracy theories. 'Cause
No, this
they're a
is
waste
just
of
me.
fucking time.
Because I have seen people do petty shit like that. That's just an actual person going out and then making one side look bad just to prove a
Well,
point.
that person is just a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
And the people on the streets are being psychos right now.
it's true. Look, guys. I mean, we know it's like it can be upsetting, but it's really at the end of the day.
No,
I
the point
did
is,
have when Obama won last time. I had a roommate who is super conservative and who, by the way, voted for Johnson this time around.
Yeah.
he was that mad about Trump.
Good.
But when
some
Obama
of us.
won, and I had voted for Obama, and I was cheering. When Obama won, he went on his knees like in Platoon and screamed that the world was going to end.
Yeah.
And
that's an overreaction.
world's just fine. 4 years later.
Yeah. Debt's not fine, but the world is fine.
No, so the point is, he won. And stop fucking
Yeah, he
wishing
won.
he's going to do some
Fucking
dumb
won.
shit to get impeached.
It's ludicrous.
I hope he's a good president because we need a fucking good president. We don't need another screw
great
up.
president, good deals, best deals, right? But seriously, though,
deals. I
No, I mean, all you can do is just hope that he's a good president.
my
or at
deals.
least like a lame duck, like Obama was for the last term.
well, the first term was, the last guy fucked us.
I mean,
For
he
4
did a
years
lot of
straight.
things.
Yeah, I understand
I
that,
agree
but-
with a lot of things Obama did during his
But
first.
I can't think of one thing that I 100%. Actually, that's not true.
Hopefully, this is a lesson, though. By the next time the next election cycle comes around, we're not as trusting of the two-party system.
Yeah, we'll need to wheel that Sanders up up to the mic and have him win.
His little
He's gonna
gas
have
tank.
he's gonna have the robot voice of.
No, he's just gonna
that
have
one
the
guy.
oxygen tube going up.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah.
It's gonna still have his
I wasn't happy with the results, but I do not agree with anybody who's flipping their shit.
Yeah, you guys, you'll be fine.
Anyone who says, "Oh, I'm going to move to Canada," please fucking do.
Just do it. Please.
Get out
God.
of here. Fucking just fucking leave. We
Yeah,
don't-
if you're gonna-
And then, to tell the truth, Canada doesn't want you either because you're a fucking layabout. They're like, you have to have money in the bank and a trade.
Oh, and you know what
before
else?
You can move here.
When you go to Canada, you can't just go there illegally either. So keep that in mind. You got to actually register, become a fucking citizen, have a visa, go into the country. So remember that too.
Remember,
So
Canada has
earth-shattering
border
things.
fucking
Yeah, these
border
things
laws.
that are so evil to require.
Yeah, all these
Jesus.
steps that we make people go through to become citizens here. Oh, well, they fucking do it in Canada too.
I
so.
would like to say, like,
Yeah.
most of the people who listen to our shows, I mean, they're Japanophiles, right? They love shit from Japan. They love anime.
Yeah.
You know how quickly you're booted out of that country if you don't have your papers on you and the police stops you?
Fucking immediately.
Immediately.
There, yeah,
don't
I've
give a
read
fuck,
and I've
man.
heard
Yeah.
that Japan's extremely.
Now, I'm not saying that I agree with that in our situation.
They
but
even
I
have
am
a word
saying,
for it.
No,
calm
Is
the
it-
fuck down.
Isn't the word for foreigner in Japan gaijin or something like that?
It's Gaijin, yeah.
And it's not just foreigner; it has like a connotation to it too at the same time, like outsider.
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Just guys, you'll be fine. It wasn't the
I
the
think
gay
Trump-
marriage thing was passed by the Supreme Court, which would be a nutso thing to overturn. I don't think that's even possible.
It would take a 3/4
I don't
majority
think
in
that
both
should be
houses of
overturned.
Congress, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fucking almost impossible. Plus, he's
And
never said a single
Trump
anti-gay
is
thing.
pro-gay rights.
He's never once that I've heard
So
said
it's odd
anything
that
against
you're-
that.
I think you were talking about someone
At my
like a
work,
gay
yeah.
friend who was freaking out.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you don't actually have to worry.
Yeah, it's like you're fine, dude. It's not a big deal.
I mean, once again, first off, if Trump was ever serious about any of this stuff, which
I don't. Do you honestly?
I kind of doubt about 50% of it.
Yeah.
I think he
and
said
second
before
off,
on TV that he can change anytime he wants.
He
was playing reality TV in reality.
Yeah, you know,
and he's
I
playing
mean,
a character.
It's not good.
I saw an
Very
awesome.
bad.
I saw a meme that
I did not
had,
vote for him for a reason.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think things will be better than some of these scared people think that it will be.
Yeah.
And I know I'm the white optimist or
Yeah,
whatever.
and we shouldn't be telling people
Jesus
that
Christ.
aren't to
and
calm
you can have
down.
your own opinion about this, but either way, you need to calm down.
Yeah, plus, I mean, we're definitely going to lose like half of our audience base because of this. So.
I don't care. It's the last half of the episode. We're not talking about video games, right?
No, it's true. But yeah, just you'll be fine. Don't flip your shit.
Look, if he like kicks out Muslims for just no reason, then I will have a serious
But that would be
Yeah.
a very interesting
If he
thing
starts-
for one man to pull off. If
he
you've ever
starts-
taken civics in like 5th grade, you would understand that that's not actually possible, and you would realize that your plight out in the streets is fucking retarded.
If he starts infringing on the constitutional rights of people, then yes, I will be out there
He'll be
protesting.
ripped apart, yeah.
I won't stand for
I don't think he'll do it.
exactly.
you can't. He can't
I
just fucking
almost-
do that.
I would almost I would put money on this.
The wall is not going to happen either. They might reinforce what we have, but I don't think they're going to build a giant wall.
Reinforce the fence.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, I think that's all just smoke. I think it's all bullshit.
It is. It was bullshit to get votes. This is
You know what?
he
And
was doing.
I saw a meme that said Hillary's been working her whole life to work herself up to this point. She lost to a guy who picked up politics as like a fucking like summertime hobby.
You know that Trump
is
was
true.
a Democrat until 2007?
He's been all over the place.
Yeah. And then he was
You
a
know-
part of an independent party, and then he just turned Republican a couple of years ago
You know,
for some reason.
some people saying that. I don't believe that Trump is as big of an outsider as people think, though. Money is married to politics very, very closely. So saying that he's a complete outsider, I think, is kind of a lie. He has an insight to the back workings of it, too.
Yeah, I mean, money goes a long ways.
I mean,
but,
none of the previous presidents supported him at all, which is interesting.
yeah,
And they're the ones who know what the job entails better than
Yeah.
anybody.
true, but they don't support his public image, and we don't know if that's how much of a farce that is. Not that I'm saying that we should be like, oh, he's just
Yeah.
kidding. Let's
He
do it
could
anyway.
be playing a character. In fact, he is.
I'm positive of
playing a
it.
character.
Look at the acceptance speech. That's a completely
But
different human being.
You know, in House of Cards, so the Clintons or the Underwoods, right? How about you remember
You can
that?
call them the Clintons. We know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then the rich billionaire who is in that show, who is that? Is that Trump? I don't know if that is.
I don't know.
who they're pulling a real life illusion from on that.
I don't know. Could be anyone.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. but-
I'm hopeful. And the reason I'm hopeful is because of his acceptance speech. It wasn't out of the way, and I was like, well, the acceptance speech was good, and things seem to be going smoothly right now with the Obama administration. So as far as I can tell, things are going to be, as long as it's kept on this very unusual path for Trump. If things stay on that sort of path of even-headedness, then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some great things done. I don't know. We don't have a fucking choice, so...
Yeah, he's our president. What are you going to do? And you know what? I've been saying this, and I've been saying it over and over again, and I would say it to the people rioting in the streets. It would be hard to be one of those really bad presidents, like Pierce or Harding, or my favorite bad president is Andrew Johnson. It would be extremely difficult to be that bad.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. There's been some really bad.
There's been really bad ones, and we've gotten through it. And the country's gotten better. People, I mean, just think about Nixon at the end of his campaign. It was terrible, and the country bounced back. Right?
Yeah.
So we'll be fine. Even if he's a bad president,
It'll only be 4 years.
he's not going to be a king. He's not going to be a dictator.
Yeah, if once again, grab your 5th grade textbook and read what the government does and how it works, and you'll understand that he's not the Emperor Trump. He's just the president.
And he can be overruled.
Yes, he can.
People are concerned about the Republican House, but they don't even like him.
Yeah, do you remember how they hated Donald Trump and they tried to get Ted Cruz or any motherfucker to take it instead of him, but they couldn't because he awoke something that's nuts in the country? Yeah, I remember that. So no one likes him really, so keep that in mind too. They might own all 3. But.
I think a lot of people who live in a liberal bubble think that Republicans are all evil. And that was, of course, my last political rant. And it's like, no, they're not all evil. They just have I don't know, how many times have you talked to someone who's like really racist? Guys.
Like actually
we
racist?
all live in a red state.
I know a few people that are actually racist. But even they...
and I mean, like, actually racist and won't hire someone who's black.
I don't know anybody.
I think
but then again, there aren't really black people around.
We don't have very many.
There's plenty of Hispanics.
I think my old
there's a lot of
stepdad's
Hispanics,
family was kind of racist. The one time I had my friend,
I got a racist grandma, but she's from Wyoming and just moved here recently, so I'm not going to put that on Utah.
I do have a few racist family members, but it's not. It's something that they will say things, and I know they believe things, but they don't necessarily think it applies to everybody of a certain race. So it's kind of tough to.
And how many people do you know would be the person who would jump someone?
No.
I mean,
nobody.
No one, exactly. So, I don't know. I don't know how to make people of color feel better.
Well, there's different types of conservative Republican. There's us here in the Midwest, and then there's those in the deep South, like Georgia Republican.
Well, it depends on if you're looking at conservative from a fiscal standpoint or like a lifestyle standpoint. Okay. For me, the lifestyle standpoint of conservatism is a waste of time.
You're a religious conservative person.
Yeah, I think we need to not spend so much money, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fiscally conservative.
Fiscally conservative and socially liberal. For the most part.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I think most people are kind of that way.
That's what Gary Johnson thought too, and he got 3% of people to vote for him.
They just pick a color.
It's a race, Gary.
They pick a color and they stay with it.
I saw that meme too.
Feel the Johnson, baby.
So I was pretty anti George W. Bush at 18, and so I registered as a Democrat.
Yeah.
And there are some things on the fiscal side that I do agree with the left on, and there are some things on the libertarian side that I believe in. But then there are social liberty type stuff that I also believe with on the left side that's not so much libertarian.
Like what?
And then I have a couple conservative. I'm going to stay away from the specifics. Okay. And then I have a couple conservative beliefs. I'm kind of like all over the board with different issues, and I almost feel like really odd being a Democrat. Like, it's like, well, I don't agree with 25% of your policy, and strongly don't agree with 25% of your policy. And I feel like whenever you're like in a caucus meeting or surrounded by people of your own political party, like everybody's like 100% for that shit.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and that kind of stuff bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a fucking football team.
We don't need to be all in. Yeah,
we don't have to be all in here. I mean, I agree with you mostly, and that's why I'm here. But
now there's stuff even the real libertarian party is for that I think is kind of silly, but
yeah. I mean, they almost want no government. They want anarchy.
Well, it's not
like
necessarily...
that works for a small village on the top of a mountain.
It's not necessarily
where everybody
anarchy,
is a half a mile apart from each other. You can probably have anarchy and you'll be just fine.
Yeah. But there are some, like the guy who almost won the nomination for them, who didn't even think driver's licenses should be required.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what Johnson said. He's like, am I really crazy for like thinking we should have some sort of competency test to drive a vehicle? And he's like, it's all right. And then that guy lost, of course. Thank God. But, so there's stuff all over that's just nuts.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I think it is freaky when people just like straight vote, like the straight vote option that you have. I think that's fucking retarded.
Yeah, why is that an option? That shouldn't be an option.
It's an option
ballots.
to suppress. Honestly, it like suppresses other parties. It almost ruins third party nominees because you're like, oh yeah, I'm more this.
Yeah, you don't have to think about each one.
Yeah.
I went through each one. I think I voted for 5 Democrats, 4 Republicans, and 1 Independent.
Yeah.
I voted for Republicans.
I voted
don't
for
mind
one
because in the state of Utah, there were a lot.
Dude,
there were
I
some
voted for
Republicans that were better.
I voted for the transgender.
Oh, you voted for Misty?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I did not vote for Misty.
I hate that other motherfucker. What is it, Mike?
Mike Lee.
Fuck Mike Lee, dude.
I hate him too.
I fucking hate
I voted
that guy.
for Misty as well.
I voted for the dude man chick over that fuckface.
I'm
I
a
hate
Democrat
that
and
guy.
I did not vote for Misty.
You voted for Mike
I
Lee?
thought her platform was weak, and I voted
wow.
for the single part or the single issue guy.
And there's other issues
hate fuck the other
the
dude
amendments
out
to
of
the
it.
Utah Constitution. I actually looked it up on my phone as I was voting.
I voted against 2 of those and kept 1. I can't remember which one they were.
Yeah, so
did
it's
you?
like
Yeah.
it's crazy though, and I feel bad because I didn't do very much research on the local stuff, so I just didn't even vote for it.
I did research on every single one.
Really?
Yeah, there were some people where I was like, you know what? If you're not smart enough to have a website for your platform, you are not smart enough to have my vote. And so I kept going.
So you didn't vote at all, or did you just choose somebody else?
I just chose someone else. I was like, they don't feel like this is important enough to spend $15 a year for a website.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't look at it, so I didn't choose. And that's something I think a lot of people don't do. They just vote for whoever they think they would be more aligned with without actually even checking. And I think that's nuts.
Oh, that's stupid.
Just like those fuckers that
part of
voted
the problem.
Harambe. What the fuck?
Yeah, like those 12,000.
There's 11,000.
Yeah, 11,000 people who voted for a dead gorilla.
A dead gorilla. Okay? What the fuck, people? Are you really surprised at the results of the election when there's 11,000 of your fellow Americans out there that voted for a fucking dead monkey? I'm not surprised. I'm never going to be surprised again.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Grabbed him by the Harambe is what happened.
Man.
But, yeah, so it's pretty annoying. And, yeah,
I don't know.
we'll live.
So who wants to run for president, guys?
I
we
think
got
I've
the
said
shining
Williams.
hope of Ron Perlman in
Speaking-
2020.
Yeah, that's a shining hope.
Oh my God.
Oh, my.
That means he's either running as independent or a Democrat, so he's fucked.
No, but speaking of voting, are we going to say what game won?
Oh yeah,
I bet some people are listening and was like, fucking hate these people now because they all disagree with me.
Tail end of the episode, and we're pulling it back to video games, you guys.
Well, obviously, did you vote for Johnson, Cameron?
I voted for Johnson.
Okay, so we got 2 libertarian. I voted for Hillary. Leave me the fuck alone, okay? Or if you're a Trump supporter,
it's all right. Our guy lost too.
It's okay. All right, it's okay. You won.
We're all losers here, but one
We
more
are.
than most.
We are losers here. That's true.
Our seer here betrayed us.
Yep.
Who
How
won-
dare you be one of those fucking, like, half of America that didn't vote, Craig? What the fuck, man? I can't believe
That's
you.
what the
My
riot
sister
should
did the
be
same
for.
thing.
I'm a seer.
The riot should be for your neighbors who didn't vote.
Yeah, it should be for those jackasses that sit home. Although it is kind of
It's
tough.
your fault.
It is kind of tough because some states it is hard to kind of pre-vote, and if you're working, it's difficult. But
It can't be half of America.
no, it's probably not half.
No.
But not all states have the early voting like Utah does.
That was a
So.
smart thing.
Oh, I also Maine is doing a tiered vote system now. So what they do is you have first option, second option, and third option, and it's a way to have third parties actually get support.
That's awesome.
So, like, you could have done Johnson as first option and Hillary as your second option, and then Trump as your third option. And what they do is they see who has the least amount of first options, and they eliminate that candidate from getting the electorals from the state, and then they do the same thing again. I think that's fucking genius, personally. Because then you don't get the lesser of the two evils crock of shit that all the morons on either side give me every 5 minutes when they tell them I'm fucking voting third party. And
I think it's perfectly acceptable to vote for the lesser of two evils.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's retarded.
And that's what I did.
I think it's absolutely retarded.
You may think that.
I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I do.
I wanted to swing the state in a different color. I did not want. I went.
Well, your effort was
For
just
me-
as futile as mine, buddy.
I went. For me, it was like, I think it would be embarrassing if Utah went red because we all hate Trump here,
Obviously, we don't.
and we hated Trump in the
56.
fucking primaries, and we hate him now.
And remember, you got to remember, Bernie might have done really well in the primaries here, but that was against Hillary.
Yeah.
He did not do well against Cruz at all. He had like a third the amount of votes that Cruz had. So the state wasn't.
You're a Utah Democrat. You can't do anything.
Yeah,
You can run for mayor and just not tell anybody what your political party is.
yeah. I don't know. I think the lesser of two evils mentality is really dumb.
Small town.
And I think it only exists because it's propagated. So
I just found out he's a Democrat.
Yeah. Going down to city council. We're gonna
Bob
protest. Yeah.
He had a Hillary pamphlet in his car. I swear to Jeebus, I saw it.
I've never heard a Utah who talks like that, Cameron.
No, they just call it like crick. And
I don't crack it down.
Fork.
It's like lazy, but it's not southern.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like kind of drunk a little bit. Just like, man.
Anyways.
From folks.
Yeah, them eat from folks.
So yeah, back to the game that
Yeah,
won.
what game won?
Oh my god, dude, it's hard. Well, I don't see you guys all week, and so we don't get a chance to talk about this shit.
That's
so-
why we need to start hanging out more often.
No, we just need to hang out on the podcast. That's all. So Metroid Prime is the winner.
Oh,
Metroid Prime, Nintendo.
Metroid Prime by how many votes?
It beats Mass Effect by 4
That's
votes.
it. I am.
what?
I'm protesting.
Yeah,
what?
you're gonna
We need
throw
an
a fit?
electoral vote for this.
No. It'd be the popular vote, but then we choose whatever we want.
We have a popular vote, Cameron.
Yeah, there's
It
the
obviously
popular
doesn't
vote.
work.
Now you guys choose which one.
It's not representing.
work.
It's not representing the Assassin Creeds of the world. Look at that, 2%. They don't even get a say.
How many votes was it for? Voted for that?
It's 4% with 2 votes. Sorry.
2 votes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those 2 people are just fucked.
2 vote. Oh, just run down the list, will you?
All right, so Metroid Prime took the win with 20 votes. Mass Effect 16, Silent Hill 2, 12, and Assassin's Creed with 2.
Last night, Silent Hill and Metroid were tied.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah. So I tweeted out, and then my
What'd you
game gets
vote for?
fucked. I voted for Silent Hill 2.
I voted for Metroid.
Oh, wait, no, I voted
Yes.
for Mass Effect.
I voted for
I
Metroid
voted for
Prime.
Mass Effect as well.
And then I know Dylan voted for Metroid.
Yeah, I'm sure Dylan voted for Metroid like 6
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, he's like, oh, a Nintendo game.
Better get that in here.
I bet a lot of our listeners want us to finally play a Nintendo
Yeah,
game.
a
And
Nintendo
They probably
shooter.
also don't want us to play.
No,
Puzzle.
freaking! Didn't you do Ocarina of Time? It's one of
I
your
have
votes?
nominated a
Is one of your
Zelda
picks?
game.
Yeah. So what the shit? We had a Nintendo game before. Why Prime?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys fucked up.
So you leave it to the people, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy to be playing Metroid Prime because it's a game that, as a kid, I enjoyed playing but never beat. So now, here's my chance.
And now when he plays it, he's going to fucking hate it.
Yeah. So look forward to that in like a month or whatever. That's a while. That's a
They're
ways out.
7 weeks away or 6 weeks away.
Well,
Or
let's see. So next week we have South Park, and then 2 weeks after that we have
Armored Core for
Armored
Answer.
Core. So that's 3 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that
It's 5 weeks.
5 weeks away.
Oh yeah, we cut a week. Listeners don't know this, but we cut a week.
Yeah.
That was originally planned. So things move forward a week.
Yeah. So look forward
One
to
less week to beat Armored Core for Answer.
Yeah, look forward to South Park Stick of Truth next week.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun review. So
All right, guys. Well, we
If you're
love
still
you
here.
no matter who you voted for, and
Yeah.
we hope you forgive us if you disagree
And you
with
should
us.
love everyone, no matter who they voted for, unless they are indeed a racist bigot. Then you don't need to love them.
Or you,
You
know
just
that
have
they
to
voted for
tolerate
Harambe.
yeah, if you voted for Harambe, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. That's a protest vote. What if they're just trying to
Just fucking
symbolize their
stay home.
protest?
Just stay home like the rest of the protest votes. Like this fuck. At least he didn't vote Harambe, Caleb. I think I'd be more mad at you if you told me that you voted Harambe.
If I voted for Harambe.
I think I would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you.
I vote myself before Harambe.
You're too young.
Still, though.
Oh, and yeah, he's an ape. I forgot.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No, not you.
Not you, the monkey.
Oh, I thought he was calling me an ape.
No.
I was like, what?
Now I'm
We wouldn't put you
considering it.
We wouldn't put you on that intellectual level, Caleb.
Oh, boy.
We don't want to make you feel bad.
Fuck you guys.
So you can check us out at twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming. You can go to facebook.com/NudeClan podcast. It's nude spelled NEWD. You can also check us out at nudeclan.net, yo, and you can put in your high points there. There's a contact page if you want to do reviews that way. Please give us an iTunes review. We'd really appreciate it, by the way. We haven't had one in a while, and
You have a chance to win a movie.
I'm thirsty, and you do have a chance to win a movie because of it. Also, you can support the show. We are looking at options as far as Patreon is concerned, but we need to all agree. This might have to be a voting process. We do have to. The House of Nude Clan needs to agree upon what
Some internal issues.
what tiers and stuff for
Basically,
Patreon
gifts that
donors.
we get to give back for donating, because we have to agree on.
Yeah. Some of us don't want that.
What?
So.
Okay, all right. We'll get into that outside of the podcast.
You know you made it sound like you don't want
wanna
that.
we want to keep the podcast talks outside of the podcast, but the political
Yeah, the
outside
political
talk,
shit we'll keep
wanna
in.
bring that in.
We want to bring that
We want
to
to. What
you.
we're doing is refining our audience base, right?
I want you guys to know that the views reflected by the hosts do not represent the views of Geekdom Entertainment LLC.
That doesn't
Geekdom
exist.
LLC is us. And
No, that's the fucking joke.
Jesus.
Doesn't matter who you vote for. If you give us an iTunes review and it's good, we'll send you a game
Yeah, we don't give
How
a
about
fuck.
a game.
or a
Man.
movie or possibly
Upgrading the
Upgrading
prize.
it, yeah.
Anyway, let's see what else do we got. Twitter. You can tweet me at Joseph Aguilier.
Me at Obsidian Bar.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And if you want to talk about anything if you want to leave us a message telling us to go fuck ourselves, you can go to 385-204-3921, or a nice message would be nice as well.
we will play it either way, though.
Yes,
So-
if you leave a nice
God.
little message that just burns us, we're gonna play it on the air. So
Yeah.
we love it.
We'll
Yeah.
play it no matter what. I mean, unless it's like really personal. Even then, like, why didn't you just write it in the contact page and just write, don't send this or don't rate this on the show?
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, if you say don't read on the show, we won't read on the show. Otherwise, we'll read on the show.
Yeah.
I won't be held to that standard.
It'll be read on the show.
yeah.
Sometimes
You
it's
guys.
like, well, the content's just too good. You have to say
Yeah. I can't not.
Anyway.
But Cameron won't do it.
Really appreciate you guys listening to us and keeping the games playing.
Yeah, keep voting. We really appreciate it. It's been better the last little bit. So
Yeah, it has been. So thank you for your input, guys. Ask questions on the forums, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. We'll see you guys next week.
Enjoy the nude.
May the list go on.
Live always in the nude.
Fuck off.
Yeah!